computer. Okay, now we are so ready to do this. All right. So happy Sunday. I know that I I love getting up on a Sunday and doing what I call a Sunday game plan and business session. And so I normally what we're doing today is what I teach my team. And normally we do it in like 25 to 30 minutes. And so I'm tacking on to the end of this as well, a really quick invite and follow-up session. I think it's imperative before we start a really busy week to make sure that we have a plan in place for our business. When I started my business, I was working full time as a teacher and had two kids that were 2 years and under. And so I had to like know what my plan was. And it wasn't always in a beautifully wrapped power hour. It happened in different pockets throughout the day, but I at least knew where I was going with my week. I knew who I wanted to talk to. And I also just had this overarching like game plan of like, okay, by the end of this week, I want to make sure that all of these things have happened. And so I feel like that we're all in the same boat. We all have so many hats that we're wearing. And so I think that today's session is going to make you feel super confident about your week ahead. And it's going to give you a lot of ideas, maybe a lot of clarity too. One of the things we're going to do is a brain dump where we get every idea that we have swirling around in our head down on paper so that we can rest easy, that we can be present with our families the rest of today or do whatever we need to do today. And we're not constantly thinking about what do I need to be doing with my business or I feel like I should be doing something because we're going to decide what those things are. And we're going to be able to allocate those to different days this week. So I think it's going to be a really great time to really great plan today. At any point in time, if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat box and I will check the chat box. I'm going to work right alongside of you guys too. So I hope that today is like really, really, really productive for all of us. And just know that no matter where you are in your business and no matter where you are in your mindset right now this morning, you tuned in for a reason. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. So try to let all the other distractions go and know that this just really focused time will be really effective and productive for the entire week ahead. Okay. So I'm excited for this. All right. So we're going to move on and we're going to do the very first thing and I will explain it to you and then I will set the timer and we'll do this for 10 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yay. I'm so glad that you're ready, Melanie. Thank you. Okay. So we are going to do this brain dump. And so I always do this on two pieces of paper. So I do a lot of tracking on my computer, but I also have a notebook that travels with me everywhere I go. And to start the week, I like to have a front and back piece of paper where I have just like gotten everything out on paper. And so we're going to do this. And so in the front part of our paper, on one side of our paper, we are going to remind ourselves why we're doing this work, why it's important to us. And just because when it gets hard this week, we're going to be like, that doesn't matter. But we have to remind ourselves when things get hard this week, why we're still doing this and why it matters to us. Then number two, and I just want us to focus on the front side of the piece of paper first, okay? We are going to remind ourselves of our goals by the end of the year. Okay, and hopefully you haven't altered those because you're like, I don't have enough time. Like, stay with your goals for the end of the year. And then what are our goals for this month in October? What are our big goals? And I would think in terms of how many lives you want to change. If you want to advance in rank, if you have an income goal, those kinds of goals. And then also then we need to break it down and make it smaller. Then what do we need to do this week? How many people do we want to help this week? Connect them to our total solution, right? Invite to our teams or be on our teams this week. Welcome to our teams. But goals in terms of metrics that you can measure. Then number three, we want to reflect on last week because a lot of times we beat ourselves up about all the things we didn't do, but what did go really well last week? Well, maybe it was like when you showed up to the 1 p.m. power hour on Monday, it was awesome because you felt super productive, right? Like something that went really, really well for you. But then also what needs to improve. Maybe you only got in 2 power hours, or maybe your whole list went out the door last week because something happened, right? And so what needs improvement this week? And then the last thing, number four, is decide what you're inviting to this week. And so that's what we want to make sure we're really clear on all of these moments. So we are going to do this. Let's just take like, I don't know, I'm going to break it down and let's just do this for about like 4 minutes. Okay. And I'll just be quiet for 4 minutes and you can get started on this first side of the piece of paper. Okay. So we'll do that. Okay. So hopefully that was good. I mean, I think what we need to do each week is to remind ourselves where we're going and why we're doing it. And especially to have so much clarity about what we're inviting to this week. Okay, what we're inviting to, that's super, super critical to you. So now on the back piece of the paper, this is what I do. You can do this. Like, I like straight lines. You don't have to do that. You can just like literally dump everything out of your head. And these are some of the things that I like to think about each week, because I feel like there's so many moving parts to this business that it helps me to think about different areas of the business I really want to make sure I bring energy to. Different areas of the business I want to bring energy to, and the different ideas that I have for doing that. Okay, that's the purpose of my brain dump. And so this is what mine looks like. Okay, and so you can do yours in any way, shape, or form. And so I'll explain it and then we'll work 5 minutes and you will feel so good about that. Okay, can you still hear me? Because my microphone changed. Okay, all right. So what I like to do is, first of all, think about everything going on with me and my family this week, right? Is it someone's birthday? Do we have a sleepover coming up? Like, does somebody need to go to the dentist? Like, just those kinds of like family things that I need to make sure I don't forget about this week, right? Then I think about my team and what kind of energy do I need to bring to my team? What kind of reminders? What's going up? Like, what's going on? Well, it's Team Cup. Maybe I'll post or go live on the team page sharing great follow-up strategies, right? Like, just ideas that I have. It's also a super Saturday weekend coming up as well on Saturday, like for most places. And so I want to make sure that we remember that, right? And I'm reminding the team about that. So just ideas about calls, trainings, just things that are on my mind that I want to bring energy to our team. My challenge group, right? So a lot of times my challenge group gets put on the back burner because I'm not thinking about them, because I'm like, okay, I've got to hit SC and I've got to recruit and I've got to do all the things. So what do I have a fun idea for my challenge group? Do I want to go live on Monday and Wednesday to bring energy, to keep that, the energy flowing, share a meal plan on Friday? What kind of ideas for my challenge group? My Team Cup team. What are my plans with them this week? How do I want to bring energy, ideas, resources to them? The next two, I really like this because I think this is a good idea for you guys. I call them VIP coaches or preferred customers. Like, who are some new coaches that I want to make sure I connect with this week? Or who's a new coach that's like now fallen silent that I want to make sure I connect with this week? Also, I have some inherited customers. I want to think about them this week and reaching out to them. Do I have anyone that's close to rank advancing or dropping rank? Do I have inactive coaches, right? So some of this will lead me into the Coach Online office. And you may not have time to do this today, but I definitely think that this should be on your radar this week. The other one, VIP customers. I have customers on Shakeology, Home Direct. I got to connect with them, right? I need to make sure everybody's good, everybody's happy. Do they want to upgrade to preferred customer this month, right before their next month's shipment comes out? So I want to kind of have some VIP people on my mind. And new customers, people that signed up last month, I want to make sure they're still going strong this month. Maybe they want to change over to preferred customer, upgrade to coach, those kinds of things. One of the things I always do on a Sunday is I remind myself who my hot leads are as well. People that I've given more information to, people who are really showing up on my social bigger than ever, people that I just need to make sure I don't forget about this week in my follow-ups. Like, I'm like, this person is so close. I need to dig a little deeper, right? They're a hot lead. They're so close to saying yes. And then other things that are on your mind that you're like, I don't know which category this fits into, so I'll call it other, right? And so this is me just getting out all of my ideas just really quickly. I could probably spend an hour doing this because I overthink everything. So we are only going to do it for 5 minutes. All right. And it's going to be perfect. And maybe we don't have time to do all the research we want to in the Coach Online office, but that's cool because you could do that either later today or you can do it tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to start the timer for 5 minutes and we are going to go. Okay. So did you get some good ideas written down? Yes. Okay. I hope so. All right. So we're going to move forward. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at our calendar and we're going to write in and schedule our business time this week, Monday through Sunday. Okay. Saturday and Sunday. If you want to write down your 9 a.m. power hour next week, go ahead and do that. But we want to schedule our business time. And I do look at our workouts as part of our business, right? Because that's part of our job is to be on our journey. And so go ahead and let's like write it in. And this should just take a few minutes here, but we want to write in any kind of our workouts that we have, what time we wanted to get our workouts in next week, our power hours or power pocket times that we want to make sure that we're being intentional and showing up for our business. Any calls or trainings we don't want to forget about, one-on-ones, Super Saturday. And then make sure you save room on your calendar for your ideas for social media, because we'll be doing that on the next slide. And I'll be giving you ideas for your social media plan for next week as well. Okay. So we'll just take a few minutes and we'll get our week scheduled in terms of when we're going to show up and work. Okay. These are really important meetings that you have with yourself. So please make sure that maybe you write them in pen and you highlight them. I like to do that. I like to highlight my workout time and my power hour time because I can't erase it and move it. And then I have to do it. Right. And I don't want it to look messy. So I'll mute myself and we can schedule in our time. All right. So I hope that feels good. That always feels so good to me. And when I'm scheduling my time, I think about my time in a couple of ways. I think about my time for my personal business and my time for my team. I also, if you've never thought about this before, I also think about unplugged time, time that is like the phone gets put aside and you walk away from it. And so if that's something you're struggling with, I would actually like block out parts of your calendar where like you're not allowed to work on your business and you're not allowed to be on your phone if that's something you're struggling with. And I think that's really important to have that unplugged family time on your calendar as well. So if you haven't done that and you feel like you need to do that, there's your invitation and permission granted. So now what we're going to do is I'm taking what, if you were on, I think Lauren Duke shared this on her 9 a.m. Power Hour last week. It's kind of what we got from leadership from Angie Belmar. And then somebody else took it and like, it was awesome. Okay. Like some really good stuff about what to post on social media. But this is what I'm sharing with my Team Cup team, because a lot of my Team Cup teams are brand new coaches. And maybe some of you guys are new coaches as well. And it's really hard to know what to say and what to post on social media. So just kind of a heads up, we're going to talk social media right now, and then we're actually going to go craft our posts for tonight. And we're actually going to sit here and we're going to write our posts that we're going to put on social media tonight. So it'll be super productive. So these are some great ideas for you and your team, Team Cup team members, new coaches, everybody of all levels for this week. And here's the thing too, is you don't have to post 7 days a week. You really don't have to. Just show up when you can, right? And do it well and be valuable and just, serve your audience, but you don't have to do this every day. Okay. But here's 7 ideas. So on Monday, and I'll just go ahead and start the timer and you guys can just write this in as I'm talking through it. Okay. So we'll just do this for 5 minutes here. But on Monday, it's a great idea on Monday, Motivational Monday, to share your fitness journey. But this week, maybe we can share your progress. And your progress doesn't have to be a physical progress, a before and after. It could also be an internal transformation that you've had as well. If you also perhaps are working with someone that has had some amazing results, it could be really cool to share someone else's results too, but I would share the results of the journey. I have down here a reel, maybe push yourself to try to do that in terms of a reel. You don't have to show up and lip sync or dance to make a reel. Praise the Lord. But you can take still images and videos of you working out and put them together in a reel of something you did last week, right? Of yourself last week, and make a reel that you use on Monday. Find some audio that's fun and inspiring and do that. Tuesday, behind the scenes, which means behind the scenes of your life. Okay, not necessarily as a coach, but behind the scenes of your life, because that's what people are interested in. Maybe some of your favorite things, favorite products. It could be Beachbody related, or it could be something related to like a passion that you have, right? Or now that we're cycling, maybe you have a favorite pair of cycling shoes or whatever, pants that don't ride up when you cycle. I don't know, right? But something that's your favorite thing that people will be like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? And they want to ask questions about it. Maybe it's a moisturizer. Wednesday, show your workout space, you in your workout space. Your workout space could be your closet, your dining room, your living room, your garage. It doesn't matter. People need to see where you work out so they can visualize themselves doing it too. And share your favorite moves. Like if Joel did a really cool move and a new Core 20 workout on Beachbody On Demand Interactive, share it. Why do you love this workout? Or maybe it's a move that now you can do well that you didn't used to be able to do well, right? Maybe it's also something like that. These are just ideas. You can do anything with it. Thursday, share that you're doing personal growth and share something that you've learned from it. I think a reel would be super cool. Like find a lip syncing reel or something like that, where someone's talking about maybe body positivity, if that's something you've learned, right? It's just an idea. But I was very attracted to coaching because of the personal growth aspect, because I knew I needed it, but I didn't know how to do it. And I didn't know what to read or what to do. And so people think it's cool that we're working on ourselves in multiple ways. Friday is to do something outside, because when we take our social media outside and our photographs outside, it first of all looks really pretty and it's awesome, but it also shows that we're just not sitting here and behind our computers all day long as well. And be active outside, like show how you're active outside. You don't just have to get your workouts done inside. You could do your workout outside on Friday morning if you wanted to. Again, just ideas, do anything outside. And then Saturday and Sunday, Saturday, you could just show something you do for fun. right? We are going to be at Super Saturday on Saturday. So I'm going to totally take advantage of being there with my team and other coaches and capture some raw video, like behind the scenes kind of video, B-roll footage, kind of, so to speak, some still images, and just capture that community. I am going to do that on Saturday, and turn it into a reel, because I think that will just be really cool. And then on Sunday is when we share a coaching journey. That's something I've been a coach for almost 10 years. And I feel like Sunday night's always the night where we talk about our coaching journey, and it still works. That's one of those things that I feel like still works, is staying consistent with that. But maybe next Sunday, what we could do is talk about travel goals that we have. A lot of people, because of coaching and their hard work and building their businesses, have been able to do a lot of cool things with travel. Maybe you've earned, like I know Laura's earned a Success Club trip, right? Like that's so cool that we get to do things like that. And so maybe it's a time where you can talk about that, or talk about a goal that you have, where that your coaching business will help you get closer to making those goals happen, right? And so any ideas that you have. And so the purpose of getting this plan together now is so that this week you're kind of, now it's in your mind, and you can start to think about, what am I going to say, or what could that reel look like? Or you're on and you're kind of doing reels research, and like, oh, I could totally do that for my workout move, right? And you see other people doing it, and it gives you ideas, which then gives you confidence. Or you can maybe get outside today and take some photos and use those next Friday, right? I mean, like there's a lot of planning ahead you can do, because our weeks are so busy. And but anytime we can curate content and think about our content ahead of time, I always feel like it's better. I post kind of by the seat of my pants, but I like to have an idea about what I'm doing ahead of time, because then I can start to look for those great ideas. Okay, so hopefully you have some good ideas. All right, moving on now. I'll see if that photo loads, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are actually gonna craft our Sunday night post now. So we're gonna curate some content now, where I would not post it now, because everybody's like asleep maybe still, or at church, or doing whatever. They're not scrolling social media right now, but we can create the content now, so we can walk away and then just post it tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the photo that I want, and I'm going to write the post and keep it in the notes on my phone. I'll set a reminder on my phone for probably 7:30 tonight. That reminder goes off, I go in and I post it. For me, more of a prime time on Sunday is between 7 to 9 o'clock. Prime time meaning like that's when people are on social media, because they're sitting down, they're done, they're scrolling, and they're also having the Sunday night scaries. I had those all the time as a teacher, where I hated Sunday nights. And now I'm like, I love Sundays. Like it feels like any other day, right? And so I just was I was in a bad headspace. And so if someone came to me with something positive and an opportunity that I saw myself in, I totally looked at it, right? And it made an impact on me. So people on a Sunday are not feeling so good. So we can come into their newsfeed and share an opportunity that would be awesome for them. And so here's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk about our team, the team that we're a part of, the team that we're building, however you want to take that, and maybe find, edit a photo of you, right, on a team call, or with your team, or pre-COVID team, whatever it is, you at your computer working your business. Doesn't have to be pretty. It's like real life here. And we're going to talk about one of two things: what you've already learned about yourself as a coach on your team, or maybe what you've rediscovered about yourself as a coach on your team. I know for me, it was a huge part of rediscovering who I really was. And then number two, your other option, I would pick one of two, so your post doesn't go in 45 different directions. Or you could say your favorite part of coaching on this team is, right? You could say that. And then we would close with your future dreams for coaching with your team, like where you see this team taking your life, where you see yourself going with your team, your visualization of your team in 5 years from now. Like that's a cool thing to think about, and to let yourself go there. And then I would drop some sort of call to action that has nothing to do with drop below a heart if you want to join my team. No, but maybe drop a heart below if you've ever been on a team that changed your life, right? Because then we might find people that were on a basketball team or a dance team or whatever, right? As some kind of a team, because that's what I loved about coaching, because I was always part of a team and I always had a coach, pushing me. And then when I was a grown up, I didn't have that anymore. And I was totally missing the camaraderie and the community and the push of a team. And so that's what I loved about coaching. And I know there's a lot of people that feel lost in their adult roles because they're no longer part of something bigger than them that they believe in. And so, so maybe that is a question that would pique someone's interest. They might drop a heart, they may not, they may never engage with it, but they're going to read it and they're gonna be like, wow, I do miss being on a team, right? We're just dropping some breadcrumbs, dropping some ideas here. Okay, so let's write. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes to just curate content and be creative and maybe get that post started or write it. Laura, you only need 10 minutes, trust me. Raise your hand if you like feel like this takes you like 30 to 45 minutes to do something like this. No, just do it in 10. Don't overthink it. Overthinkers, okay? We're not going to do that. All right, so I'm going to mute myself and I'll start the timer. I'll give us 10 minutes, okay? And we'll see what we come up with in 10 minutes. Fastest 10 minutes on the planet. Okay, did you get something done? Did you start? How are you finished? Sort of, like, don't we can't overthink it. Okay. Yay, I'm so glad. Okay, good, Jennifer, good, Amy, awesome. Okay, seriously, it doesn't have to be a manuscript, okay, whatsoever, or a chapter in your book. It just is a post, right, that speaks from the heart. It'll be so fun. Okay, and we're gonna post those tonight. So set a reminder on your phone to post that maybe around 7:30 or 8 o'clock so we don't get distracted. 7:30, 8 o'clock is like chaos in my house. The last thing I'm thinking about is making a post. So having it done ahead of time, setting a reminder to do it will make sure that I do it, because then at 9:30, it's like, oh man, I forgot to do that, right? Before you go to bed. And another tip is to do it and kind of watch it, because if people engage on it, or your coaches do, engage right back with them, right? I mean, engage with people right away, because it'll keep your post performing well. If you wake up in the morning and someone has engaged with it, engage with them right away. It'll pop your post back up into that engagement. Okay, and it'll make it really engaging. A lot of people will see it. All right. Sometimes I like to tag my coaches and people on those types of posts too. So it'll appear on their news feeds, because a lot of times my coaches aren't making posts like that. And that will then appear on their news feed. And so then their people will see it too. So it's a good thing to do. Okay. Is to tag people on your team. All right. So we are now going to, we have the perfect amount of time here. All right. So I'm going to drop this down though from 10 to probably about 5 or 6, which is perfect. This will be good. We are just going to get in people's inboxes now. We want to start some momentum for the week. And also because we know people are not feeling so good today. Think about it like how you felt at the end of a weekend, before you started this journey, before you had the solution, before you had accountability in this tribe. On a Sunday night, you were probably like, I'm going to start again on Monday. Okay, I need to do this time, right? Like we are always just like restarting, right? That was me. And so if we get into someone's inbox, right, with an invitation, it absolutely will go over very well. Okay. And so we're going to do that. So we're going to try to invite as many people as we can in the next 5 or 6 minutes. And I would do this, invite people you've been chatting with or connecting with, invite people who watched you work out on Friday morning or yesterday, people that are showing up on your social and are watching what you're doing. And I have a sample invite here. And honestly, if you just want to do if you open up the notes app on your phone and you start a new note and you click on the microphone at the bottom, you can voice to text this invite into your notes. And then that way you have it, and then you can kind of play around with it if you want to, or you can just be you and make this a lot shorter and be like, hey, thanks for your support. I'm so glad that, hey, Sarah, thanks so much for your support. It's so awesome to see you in my stories, that kind of thing. Oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to her right now. Like Siri popped up on my computer. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. And you can be like, I'm loving this program right now, and I'm looking for 3 women to start with me this week. Is this something that you feel ready for now? And just super simple, but voice to text it, it'll make it faster. Send those voice messages to people. It'll make it so much faster as well. And we'll be able to invite a lot of people. So I'm going to mute myself, set the timer for 6 minutes, and we're going to go invite people. Siri, stop. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Okay, so we had a few minutes to invite. And 1, 2, 3, 5 invites, all of that is so good. All right, so we are going to close this out and we are going to follow up with a couple of the people that are on our hot leads list. Okay, we're going to reach out to them and maybe this follow up is all about joining us this week. Right? Are you still in? Right? That's kind of what my follow up says here. Do you want to do this? Are you ready? How close are you to doing this? What seems to be holding you back? Those two questions at the end of a follow up have been really good for me in terms of getting people to respond. Okay. I just want you to know I'm here for you. I know this is hard to make this decision because I felt that same way 10 years ago. But what seems to be holding you back today? Like, what is it that you need to know from me? That usually gets people because they want to be like, oh, I'm good. I'm just busy. Right. And the conversation then opens back up again. But you could also just reconnect with somebody that maybe you've lost track of and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry it's been so long. You know, I still have a spot for you in my group, but I just want to hear how are you doing right now? And it's going to restart that conversation. So look at those names you wrote down on your hot leads and let's get in their inbox right now for a few minutes and say what you think you need to say to them, right? It may be a matter of, hey, you just want to make sure you got the email with the more info that I sent, right? Because I did that over the week and I'm like, hello, you asked for more info. I sent it to you. Like, where are you? So I'm going to get in their inbox in terms of their DMs or their Facebook and say, did you get that email? Okay. And so that's what I'm going to do right now with a few of the people I sent info to and make sure they got it. But like, just get in their inbox and we'll do this for the last 3 minutes and then we'll wrap this up. Okay. Okay, that's our time. I'm going to go ahead. If you want to stay on for a second, I'm going to grab the link to my slides and I will share those with you really quickly. Also, if you want to grab a photo, just let's do that really quick so that I'm not like in mid talk, right? Or somebody's not looking weird right now. So let's grab a quick photo of showing up and working our business this morning. You can share with your team, your accountability partners, your team cup team, right? Okay, so and I'll just count to 3 and then you can take a picture, we can all take a picture, do whatever you want to do. Okay, 1, 2. You ready? 3. Awesome. 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 And if you want to stay on, I'll drop that link in the chat. I just have to grab it and I totally forgot to grab it. I'm going to stop the recording.